Hi, I'm George with NS345. Welcome to the Gain Staging Masterclass. If you go on YouTube and you type gain staging, you're probably going to see a million videos about gain staging. What it is, what it looks like, what it smells like, how you do it, how you apply it. So why am I doing this video? I guess that's the big question. And the reason why I'm doing this video is because you still don't get gain staging. I still don't get it. Most of us still don't get it. Even though there's a bunch of videos out there about it, today I want to talk about how I understand it and how I apply it to my recordings and to everything that I do, whether it's in live sound and recording in the studio or playing a live gig. So where does gain staging come from? I have no clue, to be honest. Gain staging for me, it's a natural event that just happens. Nobody made it up. It just had to happen because people were abusing the power of the input signal, not the fader. And I'll get to that later. So where does it come from? I have no clue. Who started it? I don't know. But here it's how it works. When we record music, we have a sound source. Now, that sound source can include the room in which we're recording, or it can include the acoustics of the room. Now, the sound source could be the vocal, it could be a guitar, it could be a set of drums, or any instrument or any noise. That's the sound bit and that's the source. Okay, now the sound is captured via a microphone. We sing, we talk into a microphone, we play into a microphone. The sound is recorded by our computer through the means of an interface or a preamp or whatever. And I'll get back to that later as I start to develop this topic. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm not going to talk to you about the technicalities of gain staging. What I am going to do is talk to you in layman's terms so that you can understand what gain staging is and how you can use it to make your mixes louder, cleaner, and sounding better. I don't understand why any of us would want our mixes to be so loud. Let's be honest, nobody cares about how loud your mix is. Most people that I know care about how balanced your mix is. The only people that care about how loud your mix is you and your buddies who also mix, because you're always trying to impress them. You could never post a mix at an average level of minus 18 dBFS because that's not loud enough or that's not manly enough. I don't understand. Whatever. Mixes do not need to be loud. Let the mastering engineer make it loud. Blah, blah, blah. I mean, in fact, for YouTube, I think your mixes have to be like minus 24 dBFS RMS. So that's really quiet. So I know that'll hurt some of you out there, but that's okay. So let's move on. All right, so we have a source, we capture it, we record it. That source goes through various phases or various stages. When I speak, I push the air molecules into the mic. They are then captured within the DAW. When you have it in the DAW, here's the thing about the sound source. Let's assume that this is the quietest part of the sound source, and let's assume that this is the loudest part of the sound source. So you have something that's this tall, okay? Let me get some props here. Let's say this is the quietest part and this is the loudest part. So this goes into your DAW, all right? Now, when it's in your DAW, the first thing that we do is we use the fader to go up and down to bring what we think is the volume down or up to make it louder. Now, when we move a fader in our DAW, it's not affecting the size of this. It's not affecting the loudness of this. So if this audio source was captured at minus 18 dBFS RMS, no matter what you do to your fader, it's never going to change that. So you follow me. Think about it like this. Let's say you have a water pipe. There's water running through it. There's about, I don't know, 3 cubic meters of water running through that pipe. Okay, you have a spigot that you open. You allow water to come in. You allow water to come out. You turn it, you close it, water stops coming out. And I like to use that as an example to understand how the fader in your DAW works and your speakers work together. The fader only allows the sound to come out through the speakers. It's not changing the signal, it's not changing the level. In fact, it's not even a fader, it's an attenuator, which means that it just reduces the sound that we hear. Not that's there. The sound never ceases to exist. Okay? So when we go up on our fader, we're telling our speakers, Open up more. Let the guy behind the speakers, in front of the speakers, let the guy in front of the speakers hear what's coming out, hear the sound source. Or we're telling the speakers how much of the sound source we want the person in front of the speakers to listen to be able to hear. Follow me. Here is your sound source, quietest, loudest. It's going to come out through your speaker. Here's your fader. Okay? If you lower your fader, all you're doing is telling the speakers, hey, only allow this much of the audio source to be audible by the person listening. If you go up on your fader, again, you're saying, make it loud for the listener. But the audio source, the bit that you recorded, never changed. Okay? And that's like a big deal there. If you understand that the signal that you recorded, the audio source